Last month, I went over 30 individual funnels from different coaches and creators with info products that they were selling, and I found five of the most common issues found in pretty much every single one of these funnels. And today I'm going to be talking about them, breaking them down, going in order of which ones you should be fixing first, down to the last ones, as well as talking a little bit about how much each one's costing you individually by not having them fixed. First off, we've got the 6 option bio link. Now, it's sort of crazy to me that I still have to mention this because it's really one of the easiest things you can do as a coach who sells a mentorship program, to immediately, get more profile taps, getting more leads, and getting sort of like the cheapest traffic you can possibly get, which is people just clicking on the link in your bio. But a huge issue, right? I see so many coaches having this where they have multiple options in their bio, in their, link in description. It looks something like this, right? Where they've got link one, link two, they've got like a podcast, a free resource, they've got a course, they've got a call, they've got other social medias, they've got discounts on, paid promotional stuff that they're getting paid for. And it's just so cluttered when someone who realistically is a lead that if they're looking at your bio, they're probably pretty nurtured, or they're, at a stage where they're interested and they are now willing to opt into your funnel, and you're losing that lead immediately because your bio is too cluttered. There's too many links. So again, you're losing this. Not having this fixed is costing you profile taps that never become leads. They're really your cheapest traffic source, and they're evaporating, right? They're not ever going through to the next stage of the funnel. And it's just a really crazy thing to me that so many coaches are letting this happen, when in reality it's the easiest thing probably in this whole 5 leaks in these funnels. This is the thing you can just fix immediately. It's so easy to fix. Just go into your bio and delete all of the stuff that you're not using. First off, all the links that you really no longer use or don't really serve that much of a purpose, until your bio looks something like this, where it's either 1 or 2 links. Maybe, ideally you'd like to just have 1, and then you can have the title of the link in your bio as, click here, or like how I did XYZ, how I make this much money per month. If it's your BizOp offer that you're offering, how you can do XYZ, or like something that's basically like a title of your course, essentially, the mentorship program, that's in your bio. So you can have like, click here for my free training. That's a very common one that people do if they've got like a free training resource hidden as a VSL on their landing page, something like that. And then you've just got 1 link there, right? If you need to have 2, maybe you've got something else linked like a free resource. That can also be good, but this is really where you're going to get the cheapest traffic ever going through to your funnel. So it's important to make sure that this is as little amount of links as possible. And again, right here, right? Everything else can live somewhere deeper in the funnel. It shouldn't be this close up to the top. If you've got stuff like promotional stuff, or you've got separate free resources that aren't like your main free lead magnet, that can go deeper in the funnel, right? That doesn't need to exist on your link tree as well, or your link in bio. The next leak is, again, a pretty simple one. Pretty much just not having a clear outcome in your headlines for your landing pages, right? So having outcome-free headlines in your landing pages headlines that basically are more of just a description of the program, like this is my program, or the title of the program, instead of having what people really want, which would be your ICP in this case, and they want an actual outcome for what they want to achieve by going through this mentorship program. What this is costing you, visitors who read the whole page, they feel nothing. There's no emotional connections, no emotional hit and drive for them to want to take the next step, whether that's booking a call, whether that's buying it straight away on the page itself. You lose those people because when you're only just describing the program, that's not what people want. If you think about anything else in the real, in real life, right, outside of info products, most of the things that are, driving us to purchase products is not the product itself. It's the outcome that we can get from having the product. Fast food, a lot of the times it doesn't just state, this is the name of the product. There's always like a how outcome or an outcome associated to it. Like, thirst quenching drink. Okay. And then they'll have the title afterwards. It's something that you get after having the product or buying the product. So in this case, I want to give you a fix that you can do immediately. Just a quick example, right? This would be a pretty basic example of what a bad headline for a landing page would look like. You know, Jack's Trading Masterclass, something similar to that. You can get a basic idea of what that would look like for other people. And the quick fix is changing this into an actual outcome-based headline. So how I made 150,000 as a funded trader, just an example for that niche. Simple fix, but this is going to save, and this is going to allow you to get so many more people opting into your funnel, and you're not going to be losing out on people when you have a well thought out how statement as your headline. And even just an additional one here, you know, we've got the original one, a 12-week group coaching program with weekly calls. That's like describing what the program is, changing that to what you want the outcome to be. So book 5 sales calls a week without posting every day. Simple. The third leak that I consistently see when it comes to looking at those previous 30 funnels that I was checking out over the span of last month is the silent first hour. Now, this is a really, really big one that I see in a lot of even bigger funnels from people doing significant amount of money, and they can make even more cash collected per month with their mentorship programs if they fix this. Because speed to lead, or not having a silent first hour, is so crucial in the info space. Someone's just opted into your funnel. You need to be hammering them with as much information as possible and just really captivating their attention. Because if you think about it, when they've opted into your funnel, that is the point in the whole sales journey for them where they have the highest level of interest in your program, because they've actually taken the conscious step to either book a call. In this case, it would be book a call, right? That is the step in the entire funnel, even, getting to maybe besides the actual part where they would buy your program. This is the most important point for them, because it is the highest state of interest that they'll ever have in your program. Again, besides maybe if they actually buy it on the sales call. So you need to take advantage of that. So many people in, their basic funnel with their salespeople, they have something that looks like this, where someone's opted in, a lead's opted in, and then they'll only end up following them or reaching out to them. They'll have a sales rep reach out to them after a day, or even after an hour. It shouldn't be that long. It should be 5 minutes. The rule of thumb should be 5 minutes after they opt in is when you'd want to be calling them max. Ideally, as soon as they can, 30 seconds afterwards, a minute afterwards. It might seem, sudden, but again, this is the highest point of attention and interest that they're going to have in your products, in your coaching program. You need to take advantage of that. So getting your dialers and your SDRs to call these people up as soon as they opt in, or as soon as you can do it within a 5-minute time frame. Okay. What this is costing you, your warmest leads, people who've just opted into your funnel, going cold on the first day. And then when you try and reignite that flame, you're already at a disadvantage. These people are not going to be as interested. There's a severe bell curve, as you can see here. Not bell curve, there's a severe curve in general, just decay curve, interest decay curve, when it comes to the time that they opt in to even, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. It basically drops off a cliff in terms of their interest level in your program. And people have busy lives. They're not going to remember in a day's time that they opted into something online. People already really don't take the info space that seriously. This is important. You need to make sure that you're reaching out to them as soon as possible. The fix for this, like I said, confirming that they're in immediately. Even if you can't get an SDR or a dialer to call them up within 5 minutes, which just stop it there. You should be able to do that. This is a important thing for you. But if you can't do that straight away, set up automations. Email. SMS is the most important. Email doesn't really come close to the amount of accessibility that SMS will grant you. If you're able to send them an SMS message as soon as they opt in, bam, you've caught their interest, right? And then you call them after that, or then you have someone calling them after that. They are very locked into your offer now, and they're going to be listening to what that SDR has to say in terms of setting up the pre-call process with them on that, first call. So yeah, basically doing that, one quick win or client result, which is something that you should be sending them in the pre-call resource, and then asking one question that starts a real reply thread. That's when the dialer has called them up, pre-qualified them further after the book to call in, and then set up a group chat with the closer. That is when the closer would be asking them questions and starting a reply thread to engage them before the sales call, whenever that happens, okay? Now, moving on to the next one. We've got leak 4, naked booking page. Now, this is again, very important part of the whole process when it comes to getting people to actually book a call in your sales funnel. You can do two things when it comes to this. Number one is you can just have your VSL. If you've confirmed that it works, it converts well, and it does a really great job of convincing leads to take the next step, then you can just have that only on your landing page with a really strong headline, and then just the CTA, the booking setup integration on the page as well. Or you can opt for a bit more of a traditional landing page where you have the VSL still, the booking, like opt-in on your landing page, and then some client testimonials, case studies below that. Now, both can work. If you want people to look through your VSL only, and that's the main thing, that go for it. If your VSL, again, would still need to contain proof and things like that, or you can go for the other one, doesn't really matter. If you go for the VSL only, you definitely need to put case studies and testimonials on the confirmation page once they've actually booked a call in. Now, what this is costing you, booked call rate, people who were one nudge away from scheduling, they don't end up scheduling because there's no proof, there's nothing, there's just a Calendly link. I've seen so many people from those 30 funnels that I looked through where they'll just have a Calendly link in there as their like landing page. That's it. It's just a link to book a call in. There's nothing, there's absolutely zero sales assets convincing your leads to take the next step and book a call in. They're just saying, hey, here's a Calendly to book a call in. Here's a calendar, you can book a call. People don't know what the call's for. People don't know what they're going to be getting into on this call. They don't know why they should book the call in. There's no proof for them. There's no explanation. There's no explanation of who you are, what you've done to achieve the things you've done, your unique method. I could go on and on. But you get what I mean, right? The fix for this, again, like I just said, you can either do a VSL only landing page, or you can do a VSL landing page with some case studies on the landing page itself. If you do the VSL only landing page, again, make sure to put the proof, case studies, testimonials on the confirmation page as well. And if you do the second option, which is like the VSL and case studies on the same page, still for the confirmation page, still put case studies and testimonials on there. The people aren't going to be looking into your landing page as painstakingly as you have when you're optimizing it. These are people who, if they're straight from Instagram, they're going to be a lot more brain rotted and not as interested and locked into your page. If they're from YouTube, they're going to be a little bit more interested in your product because these are more nurtured people. And leak number 5, the launch only list. Now, this is the email list, which so many coaches just don't have because I think a lot of the time they think that it's not worth it or there's no ROI in it, which is so far from the truth on thing when it comes to coaches who have mentorship programs in the info space. It's very, very mind-boggling to me that they still don't have this set up. And it's really one of the easiest things you can be doing when it comes to a whole new audience that you're hitting with proof, sales assets, testimonials, case studies, things like that. Your journey, your unique method, why they should be looking at your specific unique method opposed to everyone else in that niche. It's really one of the best ways you can target your ICP in a way that doesn't involve you having to make content, which is another thing. And it's a way that you can very easily outsource to a copywriter or someone who's well accustomed to your content and the way that you speak, even using AI in this case. If you set it up correctly, it's a very easy thing to outsource and still make it seem authentic, right? So the email list only hears from you when you want money. Maybe you've got an email list set up and you only really do it when you want to be pumping out CTAs, which is a terrible idea. Don't do that. It'd be like essentially the same thing as if you only made a piece of content when you were doing a CTA, which would just fry your audience. I'm sure you're aware. So launch week arrives and you're a stranger asking for a favor. It looks terrible. You need to be putting out a lot of value to your audience the same way that you would if you were making content for them. What this is costing you, your cheapest sales channel, sitting idle for 40 weeks a year. This is, again, cheapest sales funnel that you can do, sales channel that you can do, because it's emails, okay? And it's the cheapest time-wise as well because you have to spend very, very little time nowadays with AI and things like that, which can replicate your unique voice and create a well-thought-out, structured, engaging email for your audience. The fix for this, just start doing more emails. Do one boring weekly email starting off. Or you can do more if you want to see results faster. It's really up to you. Same day, same format, small, useful idea. This is stuff that's going to be engaging to your audience. They're going to want to read it. And then eventually you start getting people who yeah, they'll start replying back. They'll start sending messages, on your or comments underneath your organic posts. They'll mention it in sales calls when they're opted in. Yeah, like I really love your email list. That's why I decided to opt in. Now you've got a whole new sales channel coming through. That's not your organic content or paid advertising. It's great. So this is sort of what it should look like. Sending cadence 12 weeks. If you're only sending one, that's never going to work. This is what it should be looking like weekly, sending at least one email. For some of the clients that I work with, they send weekly, not weekly, daily emails to their audience, sometimes even twice a day. Okay. It's similar to content. The more, the better. I would cap it at twice a day, but if you do a daily email, that's the best way to do it, I would say. Now, if you can only fix one thing this week, this is the sort of breakdown of which one you should fix first. If you only fix one though, fix the silent hour. Fix this part right here where you're losing leads by not having the opt-in rate faster, because this really is the most important thing out of all of these five. It's an afternoon of work setting up more sales assets and resources and making sure that your dialer or SDR is calling these leads up within 5 minutes. Talk to your sales manager about it. Talk to them. And if you don't have one, you could always book a call down below to get a free audit with my team. We can talk about how to set this up, make sure that you have your first hour fixed and that your leads are actually getting spoken to within the first 5 minutes. You're not losing leads in any capacity. And then after that, you've got this one, which is extremely easy to fix. Just fix your bio. It's so easy. It takes 20 minutes, probably less than that. You've got the outcome free headline. Again, that's one rewrite. That's going to take you 5-10 minutes. Getting the booking page fixed. So just basically formatting your booking page correctly. Again, very easy to do. And then the email list. This is something you can get into the swing of things over time. So if you want me to audit your funnel for free, click the link in the description and we can set up a free audit call where I'll go through your entire sales call funnel from the start to the bottom, offering you a free game plan and looking at some of these fixes that we can implement into your sales funnel.